kings and queens. Today I want to talk about my secret technique for achieving all of my goals, or what I would recommend to anyone that is in a place where they have not reached their goals. And today I want to share a little bit about how I discovered this secret technique, and then I want to give the 3 steps that I use continuously to this day. I use this, and then I'm going to give some examples. So if you're new, hi, I'm Melanie. I run a global real estate team. Hey, Tanya, what's up? In Austin, Texas, I run it with my husband, and he, in fact, is one of the goals that I achieved by using this technique. I can list a couple examples, but basically for me, this has been very foolproof in helping set myself up for the success, whether it's personal, business, relationships, whatever it is. So if you have any questions, this is live. Please leave any comments that you have in the chat. My goal is to just help you as much as possible. If you're a realtor, I would love to help you sell more homes. If you're not a realtor, that's okay. This technique, like I said, will help you with anything. I discovered it years ago. I don't know, probably college, high school-ish. I discovered the world of self-improvement, and I realized, wow, if there's something in my life that I'm not happy about, I have the ability to change it. And that was extremely empowering to me, because even though at first it was a little frustrating, my ego was like, oh, it's my fault that I'm not where I'm at. If it was my fault, that meant I was in full control of changing it. So I set out to discover the best way to change it. And over the years, I have kind of been working on this and tweaking it. And just recently I was thinking about it. I realized I should probably share this with people, because it is really seriously magic. Magic, not in the way that it will happen overnight, but magic in the way that it 100% of the time, if you do it, it will work. So that's kind of how I discovered it. I've used this, to meet the man of my dreams, my husband, like literally everything I ever wanted in a man. I use this to create the business of my dreams, one that I am passionate about, excited about doing every day. Voice is very low. Oh, the microphone is facing the wrong direction. Thank you. Is this better? Can you hear me? I had the microphone facing the back, which I do sometimes when I do these. So I use this to become top of my company. I use this now. I'm launching a new business every day. This is something that I'm actively practicing, because even though this may come as a surprise, I don't know if you're new to me or not, I am very, very good at supporting other people and cheering other people on and believing in other people. And I am very, very hard on myself. And so sometimes the way that manifests in my life or shows up is that I have self-doubt. I have all of these things, and these things then stop me from doing the thing that I want. So great. Thanks for the feedback. Glad that I got that microphone switched. So this is something, again, like I am personally working on all the time. My mindset is not something that you just like set it and forget it. It's something that I'm always pruning and trying to make sure that my thoughts are as positive and as helpful for me in my life as possible, because often you are your worst enemy. And if you hold yourself back in your head, there's nothing that anyone else can do to get you to reach your goals. So this has been my technique that has really, truly changed my life. And I hope that it helps you guys as well. So like I said, there's 3 steps. Now, the first step is to set a goal. So this could be, I know I have a lot of real estate agents in my channel, so I'm going to use a real estate goal. Let's say the goal is I want to sell 3 houses between now and the end of the year, or whatever. And this is where the mindset piece comes up, because so many people, and I've coached thousands of agents over the last couple of years, so I hear this firsthand. It's not your ability to close 3 real estate deals between now and the end of the year. It's your belief that you don't have the ability. So in this example, if you think I am not capable, then you won't try. Then you won't do the work. A very good example about this is the market right now. Realtors here and everywhere across the country are saying, oh, inventory is low, interest rates are high. There's no one wants to, work with me. I can't get any deals, all of these things. And because those are the stories that they're telling themselves, the beliefs that they have, they are not actively reaching out to their leads, following up with people, doing open houses, trying to get clients, because they believe that the market is bad and inventory is low. And just a belief breaker there, this past month, our team, the Royal Circle, had its highest month both in closed transactions and in volume. So there are houses closing every single day. Just because interest rates are high doesn't mean that people are not buying houses. They still are. They're buying and selling houses every single day. It's just up to you to become one of the agents that gets those deals. And Tanya, shout out. You're part of the Real Circle. So yay. Thanks for contributing to the highest month and congratulations to you. So one, set a goal. And even if it feels undoable, impossible is the better word, set the goal anyway. So again, if this goal, I'm gonna close 3 deals between now and the end of the year. Even if you're in your head, you're telling yourself all these reasons why you can't, just write the goal anyway. Write the thing that you want. And then step 2, this is the most important step, is list out all of the reasons why you can. Now, many, many years ago, I made a YouTube video and I called this the internal lawyer. And the reason I call that is because my dad is a lawyer, so I was raised learning a lot about how law works. And basically, if you have a court case and you go and hire a lawyer and you say, hey, I want you to prove that I'm innocent for this thing, the lawyer is going to ask you for all of these pieces of evidence. And the truth is that the other side of that lawsuit, they are hiring a lawyer and they're saying, hey, I want you to find evidence that this person is guilty. And both lawyers have the same set of facts, the same situation, the same witnesses that they call, all of these things, but the 2 different lawyers are going to come up with completely different cases because that's what they were hired to do. One situation happened, that's the facts. One lawyer is going to prove, in this case, that I'm guilty, and one lawyer is going to prove that I'm innocent. Derivative from the same facts. So with that being said, this is extremely profound, and I hope you understand that means that from any situation, you have the control to play a lawyer, hire an internal lawyer, and find facts that support the beliefs that you want, or in this case, the goal that you set. So for example, if I am doing this goal, I want to close 3 houses, I would say, well, why is it possible for me to close these 3 houses? How come this time is going to be different? And let's, in this story, maybe say, for the last 6 months, I've really been trying and I haven't gotten a single client. So how are these next 3 months going to be different? Now, I would say I would make the list as long as I can. Okay, for the last 6 months, I've been honing my skills. For the last 6 months, I've been building relationships with people. For the last 6 months, eventually, like the table has to tip in my favor, that all of the input and the effort that I'm doing, one day that has to, catch up with me, and I get to redeem all of the input that I've been putting in. I would use this as an example. Oh, Melanie said that her team had their biggest month last month. So people are selling real estate. Why can't it be me? And I would make a list. This is very important, and it can be challenging. And that's why this takes time and practice. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes. But basically, you just want to make a list of all of the reasons why you can do those things. Now, this is a little bit, this whole technique can be a little bit similar to like the law of attraction type things, but it's very, very grounded in reality. And mostly because of what I said before, it's because if you don't believe that houses are being closed, you won't talk to people. It's not about like visualizing and manifesting, oh, I'm going to close 3 houses, I'm going to close 3 houses. Although personally, I do believe that helps as well. It's more about convincing yourself that it's possible so that you are actually the one putting in the effort to make it happen. And maybe you're familiar with this story, just show how the inverse works. When I first met Jordan, who is my husband now, I was very interested in, hey, Jess, when I first met Jordan, I was very interested in settling down and finding my future husband and getting married. It's like I was, some people date for fun and some people date to find their spouse. And I was very much like on the market for my spouse. And we met at this photo shoot for this modeling event, and it was great. And we had a great time. And when he asked me out, I had the belief that for whatever reason, and we can dig into that if you want, I had the belief that he wanted something not serious. And so I turned him down. So that's an example. Like, it's not just if I was like praying and manifesting, oh, I'm going to meet my husband, that because I didn't have the belief that it was possible to meet someone that was seriously looking for a serious relationship like Jordan was, and then he ultimately proved to me, that's why we're together now, I would have thrown that away. So just think about how many places in your life that you are possibly throwing things away just because you have the belief that it's not possible, which is why step 2 is so important. And Jessica and anyone else who's just jumping in, I'm talking about my secret technique for achieving all of your goals. And the first thing is to just set a goal. It doesn't matter if it feels unbelievable or impossible. Set the goal. And then number 2 is you want to make a list of all of the reasons why it is possible for that. So in that scenario, Jordan, if I had the insight that I have now, I would have made a list like, there are a lot of men that are looking for serious relationships. I'm a catch, like all of these things that then I could help myself believe that not all men are looking for casual relationships, etc., which is the belief that I had about Jordan. So in this real estate example, again, you want to make that list of why it is possible for you to sell these houses. And maybe some of it is like, hey, a lot of realtors take the fall off. A lot of realtors slow down in the fall because summers tend to be more busy and their kids are going back to school. Now you have a competitive edge. Like there's a million ways that you can write this list. And it can even be, I care more. One of the things on your list can be, I have this list now and I didn't have this technique and now I have this technique and I'm going to use it every day. And that can be the thing, anything that you can think of to put on this list, you need to make it believable, because in a lot of the self-development space, they say things like, and I've done this too, write down your affirmations. I'm a millionaire. I make $20,000 a month. I am fit and strong. I make money easily, all of these things. But your brain isn't dumb. And if you don't believe these things, it's just like writing down, I'm an elephant. I'm an alien from outer space. I have green hair. Even if I wrote that down in my journal every single day, 25 times every morning before I got up, I would never convince myself. And that, to be perfectly honest, when I started entrepreneurship like 8 or whatever years ago, I probably still have my journal somewhere. I wrote every single morning, I make $20,000 a month in passive income. I do all of these things. But it was just basically the same thing in terms of efficacy as if I was writing, I'm an elephant, because I didn't believe it. I wish I had known this technique so I could be writing, there are other, how old was I at the time? There are other 24-year-olds that are making money in passive income. There are, I'm learning about marketing. I'm learning about how to be an entrepreneur. I'm getting better every day. Those things lead to me making the money in passive income, but it's something that I know is true. Is this making sense? Drop a thumbs up or some sort of emoji if you're with me right now, because this seriously changed everything for me. So step 1, set your goal. Step 2, write down all of the reasons why you think this goal is possible. And then step 3, very simple, but not necessarily easy. Look at that list very frequently. That is a list that if you are a hand journaler, or hang it up on your mirror in the bathroom, something that you can do to basically, like I said, hire your inner lawyer, train your brain to see that it's possible. Because if you truly believe without a shadow of a doubt that it is possible, which it is, everything's possible, you will show up and do the things that it takes to achieve that goal. So in this example, if you don't believe it's possible to close 3 houses, you won't do open houses, you won't reach out to your sphere, you won't run Facebook ads because, I hear this all the time. What's the point of running Facebook ads when the market, inventory is low? There's no point in doing any marketing. But if you believe that it is possible for you to close 3 transactions in the next 3 months, which very, very possible, then you will do those things and you won't mind. So those are the 3 steps. Number 1, set a goal. Number 2, write your list of all the reasons that convinces yourself why it is possible. And then number 3, read it or rewrite it. Or some people, if they're audio learners, they can record their voice and then play it for themselves when they're at the gym or whatever it is, whatever it takes for you. You know yourself best. For me, I just kind of like repeat it to myself often in my head, but I've been doing this longer, so I don't need a structured thing. Maybe I used to like journal it every morning, whatever it is for you that you think it will help. The more you do this, the better. Like there is a direct return on investment. If you read your list once a week or twice a day, if you do it twice a day, you're going to see way more results than if you do it once a week. So there is a direct return on investment. The more you do it, I forgot what that curve is called. The more you do it, the better it will be. And just a quick example, like I said in the beginning, I am very, very good at doing this for other people. It is still a struggle for me sometimes in my own brain for some of my goals. And so this is still something that I am doing actively. And the reason I was inspired to share this now is because I have recently been working on this with our new membership program that we're offering to realtors called The Kingdom. So backstory, I've been coaching realtors for a couple years now. My husband and I have an EXP team, but not everyone wants to join EXP, and that's totally fine. And there's also tons of agents at EXP that over the years have been asking us, how can we get support from you? How can we get coached from you? And we didn't have anything. So agents that were like, hey, look, I really like your stuff. I see you're valuable, you're smart, but I love my broker. I don't want to switch. And then also agents at EXP were asking us. So we decided to make this new offer open for all agents to help them grow their business. And this is like we put so much heart and love and energy into this. And for me, my inner critic is very doubtful. I love to tell myself, or let me rephrase that because I don't like that messaging. It is a habit for me to often tell myself, this isn't going to work, all of these bad things that I don't want to repeat. But so for me, I have been doing this exercise for the kingdom about all the reasons why this is going to be such a no-brainer for every agent that sees it. And that list includes like, this is absolutely the best offer we've ever made. It is the highest value and the lowest cost. It is ridiculous. It is 3 years of learning from coaching agents, what resonates with agents, what works with them, what doesn't, what actually helps agents succeed, all these things. We've distilled it into a very clear blueprint. So I know that this is what will work. This is the offer. We really built it for other people instead of like what we wanted to deliver. We were like, okay, what would actually really help agents succeed? And then we built it that way instead of like, oh, I want to make a bunch of YouTube videos and that's a course, just as an example. So these are just a couple of things that I did. And Jordan and I went over this list and, our sales page is 100 times better than any other sales page it has ever been. Like a real list of all the reasons why I think the kingdom will outperform any offer we've ever made. And I am thinking about those things all the time. Because again, here's what happens. If you don't believe that this goal is possible, there are ways that you will sabotage yourself, whether consciously or unconsciously. And it happens all the time. I see people talk themselves out of, like, if they show up to a listing presentation and then the agent, let's say the listing is like, oh, well, we're really hoping for an agent that specializes in Facebook ads or whatever. And let's say you have some Facebook ad experience, but you just don't have that full confidence. I have seen agents, and it breaks my heart, say, you know what, you might be better off with another agent. I'll let someone else have it. I see this all the time where agents will talk themselves out of the sale. And that's another thing that I coach our agents on a lot. Let the other person be the deciding factor. Don't ever discount yourself. But it's hard if you don't have these beliefs built up. And that's why an exercise like this is so profound and so powerful, and seriously has changed my life in every single area, because your beliefs, your thoughts, I think a lot of people, when they hear, oh, your thoughts become reality, it's not like, oh, I'm thinking I want $1 million and then $1 million just pops up. It's like, if I think that it's possible for me to have a stack of $1 million, and in this, if I believe that it's possible to have a stack of $1 million, it's not $1 million, but $1 million, I will do the hard things. And when it's hard, and business is hard, and real estate is hard, and dating is hard, and fitness is hard, and whatever your goals are, it's going to be hard. If you have any single doubt that it's not possible, you will quit. And that's just the truth. You will start going to the gym for 3 days a week and lifting, and 4 months in, you will be like, what the heck? I see no progress. And the truth is, it takes way longer than 4 months. And if you quit then, you will never see the results. But if you believe that it's possible, and in that case, if you have the list, oh, my diet is better, I hired a personal trainer, I'm serious about it this time, I'm taking supplements, all of the things of why this time is different, you will be so much more dedicated. You will be able to stick with the actions that it takes to achieve your goal. It's not even a percentage, infinity times more, because if you don't believe it's possible, as soon as it gets hard, as soon as there's any out, you'll take it. Like the example, it wasn't even hard. Jordan asked me out. I was like, nope, this guy's a player. I said, no, I could have literally, I don't even want to think about it. I could have just lost the man of my dreams for my entire life just because of a belief that I had. So it wasn't, and what I think makes that story even more powerful is that I was actively looking for a future spouse, like I said. So it's not just like thoughts become reality. I want a husband. I want a husband. I want a husband. You have to truly believe that it is possible for you. And the fastest and best way to change that belief in you, if you don't believe that it's possible, and like in that example, I didn't believe it was possible, obviously, because when he asked me out and he showed extreme, genuine interest in me all day, I said no to him. So you have to dig really, really deep. This can be hard sometimes. You have to dig really, really deep and list out all of the reasons why it is possible for you, why it's not only possible, but it will happen. And then read that list. And then with that belief, you can show up in the actions that you're taking. You know, you can do the same exact things, but if your belief is different, you'll have a completely different outcome. So that is my secret technique. I hope it changes your life as much, or even a fraction of as much as it's changed mine. It's truly amazing. Highly recommend it. And it's really not that hard. You just write a goal, write a list of all the reasons why it is possible for you to achieve that goal, why this time is different. And then reread that list as often as you want, as often as you can, or, you know, journal it or say it in the mirror, looking at yourself, whatever it takes for you to really internalize all of those things. And just remember, like, the lawyer thing is so profound. Lawsuits are happening every single day. Probably at this moment, there's a lawsuit happening. And there are two opposing lawyers that are arguing based on the same set of facts for two totally different outcomes. So you can look at any facts. Once you get really good at this, everything changes. You can look at any set of facts and turn it into a way that works in your favor for whatever goals you have, whether it's professional, personal, fitness. I kind of threw in a couple examples for all of these. So use this and start living the life of your dreams. I really hope this helps. Remember, you are all kings and queens, and abundance is your birthright. And I will see you at the top. Thanks for tuning in.